There are people who say, how do you negotiate with a country? Every time I read this, I laugh. I say, this is a man who's never negotiated with their country, with any country, because that doesn't matter. If anybody had negotiated with one president of the country and then with another president of the same country, you would have had two different negotiations. And if you'd used the same, you would have perhaps won with one but lost with the other. Individuals are individuals, and that's what makes history. The first time I was taken away by Hezbollah and locked up, and then I could see something. What I had in front of me were the mass faces of two persons. One person, as later on Israeli intelligence confirmed to me, was no less than the second great individual in the world, great so to speak. So after Bin Laden, the most sought man who was eventually killed in 2008 in Damascus, the first thing he said to me, he said, don't give me the story of impartiality. I know that taking hostages of innocent people is wrong. I know. And if you think that I don't know that, and here is the other catchphrase, you would insult my mother, because that would mean that my mother did not teach me well. I know that. Now this is no less than the $10 million man who was killed in 2008 as the greatest terrorist after Bin Laden. So this is the communication thing. So he sat down with me, and then it was maybe a surprise, and then he added, why do you risk your life to save somebody who's not from your tribe?
When Jim this morning talked about more information, the enormous possibilities of human development that can happen if we have more information about our world, and the man who said, what are you doing negotiating for people who are not of your tribe? He was the same man who said that his mother taught him that it's not a good thing to kill innocent people or to kidnap innocent people. Can we really say that that man needed more information? Because it sounds like he was pretty well informed, and that what is really going on is something at the level of emotion and at the level of human relations that's not amenable to technological solutions. And that if we're talking about living in a virtual world or a series of virtual worlds, once again, that's the small portion of humanity who even has access to this stuff. I mean, when we run into these other kinds of human beings that put us in these very constrained situations, we realize, well, we really don't understand each other.
What we talked here before, and people touched upon it, is that most of these innovations, most of these technological advantages, they never reach the people that need it the most. So Bo Ekman talked about thinking outside the box or thrashing the box. And to me, thrashing the box, and he's absolutely right, means thrashing social barriers. This is, to me, what evolution looks like, thrashing social barriers. So most of these times, this cutting-edge research is innovative research that is perhaps thinking outside the box, but still within a traditional framework, which is very, very difficult to bypass. And the major question, to my mind at least, is how can we move towards a model where all this innovation, all these technological advances that people talked about before, and we heard some amazing things happening in genetics, we talked about avatars, we talked about so many things. How can we get these developments in all these areas to reach those that need it the most?